What's good, Relocation Football League fans? It's your boy Smitty, and I am back with the RFL weekly podcast here. I'll be doing this one solo, guys. Appreciate the guys who are out here, and this podcast really shouldn't take too long. Of course, there's been less games. We've come into the Relo Bowl just 2 weeks away, guys. So less than 2 weeks now. Crazy conference championship week to recap. And then, of course, after that, we're going to be revealing the Pro Bowl rosters for this year's Pro Bowl. And if you guys saw let me see if I can put that back up just so you guys can see. I don't know if you guys will be. No, I don't have my mic set up for that screen. But just for the thumbnail, it tells you a brand new system. It's going to be a different type of Pro Bowl this year, you guys. I think it's going to be very interactive. I think you guys are going to love it. Those who are participating in it, you guys can get something out of this as well. I'm working on some things, and I'll try to, of course, get the rest of that after the podcast, but I'll at least let you guys in on, the things that are coming. So let's go first look at the conference championship games, right? This is how things were coming into the game. You had the Bulldogs taking on the Celtic Tigers and the Memphis Steamers taking on the Toronto Thunderbirds, right? And we were just like, man, these are some great games. Third time the Celtic Tigers and the Bulldogs going to meet this year. Then for the Steamers and the Thunderbirds, those two teams have been number 1 and 2 all season long in the NRC. And in the Toronto Thunderbirds coming back 100%. How will this game be this time? Of course, things turned out to be different this time around. And these ended up being the results as the Bulldogs and the Thunderbirds ended up advancing. But let's go a little bit in depth more, of course, getting a look at these individually as we get a look at the Celtic Tigers falling short to the Bulldogs by 14 points here. Even though, yes, two scores is still a decent amount to lose by as well, but it was the Bulldogs game from the jump. I mean, these guys started out 2 back-to-back interceptions, really had Justin Jones rattled. You can look at the total here as I look to my right here. 5 interceptions on Justin Jones. This is the most interceptions he's thrown in a single game. He was very protective of the football throughout the season, and even in the first couple of games against the Bulldogs, he did not turn the football over much. But this game was much different. Justin Jones couldn't even get in the end zone for a touchdown. Had, like I said, 5 picks in there, one of them being a pick 6. Defense ended up scoring a touchdown as well. And things just got out of hand for the Celtic Tigers. They still managed to not let this get out of hand as bad as it could have. As you can see, the defense found a way to get multiple interceptions like they did a week ago. And all 3 of those interceptions were from Damori Williams, a longtime safety. He was in a part of the first RFL draft, and he came with all 3 of those interceptions. The defense did everything they could to try to keep the Celtic Tigers in this game, but the defense of the Bulldogs was just that much better because they just kept taking the ball away from CT, and they could not control anything on the offensive side of the ball. They could not get down the field. Everything was just strapped. And this is why this Relo Bowl, man, we talk about the defense win championship things. This is definitely the most defensive Relo Bowl that we're going to have. Of course, we'll get into that because we already know who they're going to be facing in the Relo Bowl. The Bulldogs, I've been saying it. We've all been saying it. I think we predicted this Relo Bowl matchup since the season began, to be honest. Some people, of course, had some things different, like the Explorers possibly being there. Maybe the Steamers after they got hot. But realistically, I think most people predicted the Relo Bowl to be the Bulldogs versus the Explorers or the Thunderbirds, and it ended up happening. I mean, this playoff was not unpredictable. It was predictable from the jump. I mean, the teams that should have won ended up winning, and it could have the games that could have gone either way, honestly could have gone either way, but there was no upsets really at all in the playoffs, and the more dominant teams, they just flat out won. We didn't see that as often we didn't see that as frequent, I would have to say, in the regular season. There was definitely some upsets this year, but in the postseason, I mean, these teams left without a doubt that they were the best teams to represent the conferences. And, of course, the wins for even the teams that didn't make it here, the wins that they were able to get, they shut it down and did what they were supposed to do. Now we're get to see who's truly the best of Season 8 after this game. But looking at this game as well, there was 2 interceptions from the guy who's gracing the poster here that helped advance them to the Relo Bowl, and it was Duke Pascal. You had a pick six off a missed screen pass. Yeah, I think it was a it was a missed screen pass, which honestly, in my opinion, I thought should have been defensive pass interference because I think it was Reed Holmberg. He ran right into Matt Wheaton, and there was no flag called. The ball got thrown because he couldn't where he would have been if it wasn't for the contact. And Demoria Williams with just swift cat-like reflexes, able to get the interception and take it to the crib for the touchdown. And that really put the Celtic Tigers right within his game. It was 14-17. Celtic Tigers had chances, but when it came down to their offense to be the ones that have to make the plays, they just couldn't do it. And at the end of the day, the Bulldogs, their defense was able to stand strong. The offense of the Bulldogs was able to do just enough to be able to get those points on the board to separate. And here they are advancing to their second ever Relo Bowl. This is the first ever inaugural Relo Bowl champions. And it's been 7 long years. These guys are here, and Coach Reed has got them where, he was trying to get these guys last season, got bounced out in crazy fashion against the Voyagers, got revenge on them earlier this year, and then now look at them. They're right in the Relo Bowl as expected this time. They have fulfilled it, but can they fulfill the ultimate goal? Can they win the Relo Bowl this year? And that is the biggest question, because we said this once again. If there is any team coming out of the ARC to represent the conference that really stood a chance against any of the top teams in the NRC, it was the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs, they're finally able to get there. So it's not going to be an easy test. If it was the Celtic Tigers, in my opinion, honestly, that would have been a crazy win for CT. They would have made it, but had it been any of those top 4 teams that's usually mentioned, like the Thunderbirds, Explorers, Steamers, and even you can mix in the Snowhawks as hot as they were in the Diablos, like those 4 teams, I think they would have been able to defeat the Celtic Tigers, or at least more so those top 3 with the Explorers, Steamers, and Bulldogs. Not Bulldogs, Thunderbirds. Now throwing the Snowhawks as well, because they did get a pretty dominant victory, in my opinion, over the Snowhawks in their game. The Diablos in their game, So, hey, there you have it. ARC champs, once again, the London Bulldogs, they're moving on. 31-17 the final. And this team will be who they're facing, man. The Toronto Thunderbirds. No strangers to the game, man. They're going to be their 3rd Relo Bowl appearance. They won their first championship in season 3. They went back to back, but then lost in crazy upsetting fashion, and one of the best Relo Bowls until, of course, the last year's Relo Bowl with the Voyagers and Explorers. And man, after that, they kind of went on a little bit of a break, had some injury problems that's kind of stopped them from moving forward as well potentially. And 100% healthy throughout the playoffs at this point. And that's been an Achilles heel of the Thunderbirds is health, because they have very good key stars that are starting. But if any of those guys get injured, which we saw even this season, the 2 games where they were without players off of injuries that were starters, they lost. And once they came back, they've won every game since, even in the postseason. And the Memphis Steamers, man, they played the Toronto Thunderbirds at their weakness. This is the reason why I chose the T-Birds to win this game, because I felt like this T-Birds team was the main team that was going to be able to neutralize that offense, and their offense was still going to be potent enough to move the ball down the field to get the points that they need, right? LC3 did a much better job, didn't throw too many interceptions, he threw 1, but he still had some really good passes throughout the game, kept the offense going. Marcus Knight was coming up some decent runs, but the defense really just flexed itself once again. Just 2 great defensive performance by the winners in the conference championship games. Reed Wagner, 3 interceptions in this game. They absolutely had him just all over the place, and all 3 of those interceptions, just like the last game with Demoria Williams, except the Interceptors team was able to be victorious. Eric Straughter, man, I can't talk enough about how great of a game this guy had. If you didn't know, this guy's not even this X Factor yet, but if you don't think he'll be one next season, he'll definitely be one. This is his 2nd year where he's had 7 interceptions, and guess what? He's got 6 in 3 games in the RFL. I think it's actually 7, because I think he got an interception if I'm not mistaken, in the second round against the Explorers, because somebody was bringing it up. But honestly, I don't think that happened. I don't think, no, because Daryl Johnson didn't throw any interceptions. I saw somebody talking about it. So six interceptions. So he almost had a season total of picks in 3 games in the postseason. Guy looking like Ray last year in his first appearance, right? And so, man, let's get hashtag ESJ in the chat, man. Dude was an absolute dog. And you can't not root for this guy, right? He was one of the first, he was in the first ever real college series draft class, in the first ever college series. And man, he just really set the tone and the standard for the type of player that you need to be within this league. Always was active, always had a positive attitude, always was just, that guy. And, just see him in just his third year develop into this type of talent. He's without a doubt going to be a 99 overall. He is this Thunderbirds personality now. Like, the locker room. I know you guys don't all have access to the locker room, but, his passion behind the team and trying to get his guys right. Like, this guy deserves to be here, right? And to have him ball out in that game against the #1 team in the NRC conference. I mean, the Steamers, like I said, once again, were no slouch. They had some opportunities within this game. A lot of questionable play calling, but once again, you could say that on both sides. There were some weird plays for the Thunderbirds as well, but they had opportunities and they were unfortunately squandered. Some run plays on third downs and longs when they should have passed, things like that. But at the end of the day, this defense was just absolutely incredible. And Amir Williams, shout out to Amir Williams. I know his playoff run has come to an end. And shout out to Deshaun Richardson. There's a lot of user players within these conference championship games I just want to give a shout out to, man. Like Amir Williams, even though he only had 43 yards rushing in this game, if you saw how he was running throughout the playoffs, and even in this game, he was running hard, man. He was trying to make every play that he could every time he touched the football, and it just wasn't enough, man. Like Romeo Jackson couldn't even get going. Eric Straughter was on him majority of the game, and it was just, he couldn't do anything. So that goes to show you, once again, the level of Straughter right now without even being an X factor. He, in my opinion, is the next Rashad Chamberlain, without a doubt. Tall cornerback who's fast, who's going to be able to stick with you. He got a crazy speed upgrade, too, in game. I remember we were in VC, looking at that when he added it on, got up to a 96 speed. That's just a crazy combination right there at this guy. And to stick with Romeo Jackson to do what he did and get those interceptions and make those plays, I mean, that was just incredible. Deshaun Richardson, once again, in my opinion, the best defensive player this year in the RFL. In my opinion, as well, if it was an RFL top 100, which we are planning on doing this year, you will already know from my list that I'm including, Deshaun Richardson will be #1. I think he was the best player by far in the RFL this year. Never seen a defensive tackle have a season like that. He did wreak havoc from time to time within this game. He forced the interception that LC3 had because he was able to bulldoze right through an offensive lineman, and LC3 had to hurry up and try to throw it. Thought he had some space on that out route, and then you saw John Gibson jump it for pick 6, and that was the only reason why the Steamers got on the board, which is crazy to think about. The #1 offense in the RFL only had 6 points on the board, all field goals. So there's 2 field goals. They could not score against this Thunderbirds defense, which once again goes to show you just how good this T-Birds defense is, right? Like, I've never seen nobody do that to the Steamers, and they were just on point throughout the game. And I'm going to give the flowers out to the guys that I spoke of within the game, man. Shout out to everyone. Even, in the Bulldogs game, well, they with them advancing on, it's not really too many users, though, on that team that's playing as of yet. I guess we could give a shout out to Duke Pascal, right? That was a great pickup a few years ago. Well, like just last year, right? Because, I mean, he panned out well for the Bulldogs right now, man. Without Duke Pascal, I don't think they are where they are. He's had quite a few momentous pick 6s, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, man, this is great seeing these user players now getting to a stage like this and advancing. But the Toronto Thunderbirds, NRC champions for the 3rd time. Actually, what was that? Yeah, that would be the 3rd time. Yeah, because it would be the 3rd. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, for the 3rd time and looking to try to capture their second Relo Bowl. It's going to be a great Relo Bowl, guys. 23-13, the final score. T-Birds moving on to play those Bulldogs. And this is where we are right now. London Bulldogs, Toronto Thunderbirds. My prediction, hey, NRC still the powerhouse conference in my opinion. I said if there's any team that could give the NRC a run for their money, it's the Bulldogs. Nobody else. So the Bulldogs have gotten there, but they've got to prove, hey, we are just as good as your top teams in the NRC. Can the original conference and the original champions, remember, this is the first team to ever win a championship in the RFL. Can the original champions reclaim the trophy? The storyline to this is just incredible. I can't wait for the game. It's going to be crazy. The best defenses in the RFL this season going head to head. I think this is going to be an ugly, low-scoring game, guys. I think it's going to be a ton of interceptions. It could be just like how it was for the Steamers and Thunderbirds game, where it's going to be like a 20-13, 20-17, something like that. I don't see this game going over 40 points. That's just my opinion. Like I really don't. That's how good these defenses are. And yeah, so that's my predictions. I guess before I move on, I want to ask you guys in the chat. We got over 40 live here watching. I got to look down so I can see you guys' comments. But who do you guys got for the Relo Bowl? We did a poll vote in the Discord, and in the Discord, guys got the Bulldogs coming out victorious. You know, like honestly, this game, in my opinion, like I said, could really go either way, man. It's all about who's going to make the most mistakes on offense. Let's see in the chat who guys got. I see Bulldogs for Faded Red. Max. I said, I'm about to say Mark Sanchez. Max Sanchez. T-Birds. Got EA, so got the T-Birds. Lido got the T-Birds. Got Glenn Sharp with the T-Birds. Of course, Drew Brewer saying Wolf got his Bulldogs. Nobody getting over 30. I 100% agree with you, Amir. I got the Thunderbirds, says Q. Zion Waddle says T-Birds. Luke Poor says T-Birds. Kai Cash going with the Bulldogs. Coach Dunn going with the Bulldogs by 1 point, 21-20. We got Michael Blunt, T-Birds with the hundreds out there. Birds for Chris Polk supporting his boy Eric Strauder. Seamus Davey Fitzpatrick got the Bulldogs. T-Birds for Amir. Game ends in a tie, says Perk. Come on, man. Pick one side. We got Ariel with the T-Birds. Wolf says Jermaine Taylor with the Bulldogs. So I had the Bulldogs winning the Relo Bowl before riding off to the sunset as they're going to the Orbits next season. That's a good little take there from Gridiron Yuki. Caden Blair says 27-10 T-Birds. Wolf says Coach Reed. He's got his guys getting a dub there. He said nobody got dogs. Yeah, it's crazy because I mean most guys voted for the Bulldogs in the Discord. Of course, YouTube's a whole different thing. You know, it's a whole different area. I bet you if we took this poll to Instagram and other things would be different. So we got T-Birds pretty much right now here on YouTube. Bulldogs in the Discord, man. I just think that you couldn't have had a better Relo Bowl than this, man. Like, I'm excited. I can't wait for this game to, to just happen, just to see how it is. Two of the best defensive teams, man. I don't think we've ever had two teams go to the Relo Bowl have this talent, this type of talent on the defensive side of the ball, right? And face each other. This is going to be an all-out war. Trust me, trust and believe me on that. And it could really go either way. It could be a smooth blowout. It could be anything. It really can be anything because that's just what the defenses could do. Whoever gets caught up in their ways, making mistakes, that's who's going to go down in this game. Trust and believe that. All right, so that's what we have right now. Just reaching out. Let me read a couple more. I see some more people. Shody, that's Tyon says flock with the birds. Of course, Silverio's got the Thunderbirds, his own team there. Glenn Sharp's got the T-Birds 23-17. Says ref's going to win for the team of a defensive pass interference on final play, says Reed. Says we can only hope, Creed. says Pat. All right, anybody else new here with a prediction? Said game's going to be won in last minute, fourth quarter. Yeah, it's going to be crazy, man. I feel it. Oh, we got Javon Garrison here, Sam Bulldogs. Kakoa Benitez, got the Thunderbirds. Yeah, it's going to be wild, man. It's going to be a wild championship. So that's my prediction. Good to see what you guys are thinking as well. It's just great to see other people's opinions on, who they think's going to win. It's going to be one of the better Relo Bowls, man. Just matchup alone, in my opinion. But let's see what we got going on here next. Okay, so next up, and I got to move this. We have the Pro Bowl, guys. I don't have any fancy graphic right now for you guys because currently right now I'm building the Pro Bowl teams, and I know you guys are probably. Let me just reveal to you guys first, okay? I guess I have to reveal. I'm going to reveal the rosters, and then I'll talk a little bit about why they're kind of on the same screen for a little bit because I haven't finished on one side. So let's go ahead and get into that. Let me go ahead in my game here. So first off, I guess first I should explain the new system that's going to happen so that way you guys can see the rosters as I'm going through and understand, why they're within one file. So this is what happened, guys. I'm going to go put back up this just so guys can have something to look at. So I was on the Celtic Tigers, of course, after advancement, and they lost, but the coach got picked for the Pro Bowl. So I had the game, and I hopped in the game. I saw the players, but of course, you get the RFL team helmets, but the other side, since we're splitting the two files, they got NFL teams. We don't want to see NFL teams. We never really have, but it's only their helmets showing. And then I thought, because I have access also to the other coaches, Justin Jones got invited to be on the Pro Bowl on his side. So now I was like, hell, you know what? How about we actually have the Pro Bowl in the game? And so now we're going to actually have the Pro Bowl, in which you see in Madden 23, actually for our players as well. But there's going to be an extra twist. We're going to have 2 Pro Bowl games. So we're going to play both the Pro Bowl games from each file. And I'm going to still build on the opposite file, the opposite conference's team, Pro Bowl team. So that means that the NRC is going to be built on the ARC file, and the ARC file is going to be built on the NRC file. NRC guys were the champions last time they played, so that game will be last. ARC file gets played first. Then the NRC side is going to be played. And whoever puts up the most points as a whole in games 1 and 2 will be the winners of the Pro Bowl. So we're going to get double the action, twice the game, and then also that helps out with me being able to take photos of every player involved with actually having a Pro Bowl uniform on and your own team's separate helmet. So that's kind of what drove me to do the idea. So yeah, we're going to see some NFL teams in terms of their helmets, but the players are still going to be the NRC Pro Bowl players and the ARC Pro Bowl players and their respective files. So that's what we're going to do. I'm trying to figure out what time would work best for you guys, though. I was thinking about doing a 4 and 8. I think that might be the best way to go about it. So like turn up for us, guys. Like turn in early. If you're free on a Sunday, 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock, turn up to the. I knew you guys would show up at 8 o'clock, but hey, show up to the first Pro Bowl game 1 at 4 o'clock, man. ARC file going down. Then after that, game 2, NRC file going down. Add up the points, see who wins and stuff like that. It's also going to come down. You said Saturday or Sunday or both on the same day, because the reason why I want them both on the same day is I just want it to be just an action-packed, day where also what I'm doing with the presentation is I'm going to be bringing on players who are a part of the Pro Bowl. I can bring on coaches. I'm like, since I'm making the rosters right now, and I'm about to probably get, I need somebody to possibly help. Baker has helped me with the team. Well, he's made his players so far on the NRC file thing. I'm almost done the NRC team already. So I'm actually going to finish the NRC team's Pro Bowl and the ARC file today. So that whole team's going to be done. Then I just need to go on the ARC. But of course, I also got to start building the Relo Bowl as well. So I'm going to need probably reach out to some community members who've got a PS5 and see if guys can help me out there just to move that process along right now. Because currently, right now, I'm building the Pro Bowl rosters on my own. But that right there is going to be a crazy event because now we can focus on that conference's players, right? So we play game one, and in game one, it's going to be the ARC file. So I'll focus more on the ARC, bring in, ARC players, some coaches from the ARC, talk about the season. And it's going to be kind of like a chilled, laid back broadcast. Like, it's not going to be me just calling the game throughout the entire thing. Like, I'm going to have guys on. I'm going to try to have guys on, guys talking. So if you really want to be a part of this process, make sure that you show up. Coach Reed, I know you're going to the Relo Bowl, but since you're the only coach in there, we can even have you on, talk about the Relo Bowl, how your stuff on that within the first game, things like that, and then on the NRC, go ahead, bring on some NRC players who made the Pro Bowl, some coaches, and things like that, man, and just enjoy the game, kick back, watch, and it's going to be a different feel, very interactive. Also, if you made the Pro Bowl, I'm coming up with something where you're not going to get docked these reloads if you win them because it's going to be added on after the reset. So if you made the Pro Bowl this year, I'm trying to come up with a system where you get X amount of yards, reloads based off the amount of yards you get offensively. If you're on defense, how many interceptions, how many tackles. I'm trying to see what I can do as a system so that you can earn reloads for being in the Pro Bowl. I think what I'm going to do just from making the Pro Bowl, guys, I'm going to probably give you guys off rip 5 stacks. So that's incentive now. We're starting to add incentive to making the Pro Bowls and being a great player. So if you made the Pro Bowl as a user, after reset, you will get 5,000 extra reloads. So that means instead of starting out with 5,000, you'll have 10,000. And then based off your performance in the Pro Bowl, you'll get extra. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I know guys are going to be excited to see that. And yes, with that being said, let me go ahead and in the chat real quick, see what guys are thinking on it. It says sounds cool. It says separate days, maybe. Yeah, I was thinking separate days, but I kind of wanted to just do it all together because I don't know. I want to make it also one post on social media so I can post game 1 and game 2 just like that because I don't want it to be the same kind of post also. So it's just a action-packed day, man. We're just focusing on things. So perhaps they do assistance. Oh yeah, that's another thing I talked about is coaching. So the coaches are already set. The Celtic Tigers, even though they're coached technically by me, since I run the CPU teams, whatever the Celtic Tigers run, that's what the ARC team is going to run. So whatever Justin runs, that's what the NRC team on that file is going to run. But now because we're doing the 2 files and 2 games, this will only be a 1 season thing as well, guys. It's definitely not going to happen in the future, but just I guess this is a send off for two files because we already know there's going to be no more 2 files in the RFL after this season, but we'll go ahead and finesse and get these 2 games out of it. Now we can add 2 more coaches. So the ARC side on the NRC file, the ARC coach, we can have Coach Baker. So he could get on the NFL team and tweak, whatever he wants the playbooks of this team to run, those plays. And then vice versa for the NRC side, it was Bill, but he declined to coach the team. So it'll be Mitch who's going to coach the NRC side on the ARC game on the file. So it's just pretty much just choosing the playbooks. Not really too much because you can't really get in practice or do anything and stuff with it, but at least you have your influence. The momentum of the players and their actual file will still be there. So it's gonna be crazy. Another thing is it's gonna be very different because the one side I checked to see if they rotated players, but they don't. The good thing is every player will be able to touch the field because I remember last season we couldn't get every player. Well, honestly, every Pro Bowl unless it was modded, we couldn't get every player to touch the field. Now, even if you're a 3rd string quarterback, you'll touch the field because on the file, I'll be able to rotate your player. So everybody's going to touch the field. But the thing is, the opposite team, which is going to balance itself out, both teams are going to do this, ARC and NRC team. They're going to have their starters in the entire game. So, that's going to be tough. You got to play this full strength NRC and ARC team the entire game while you're rotating. So, but it counterbalances itself out because once you go to the other file, it's the same thing, other side, right? But yeah, it's going to be pretty dope. Let me go ahead in the chat again. I'm showing up to both games. That's what's up, Blunt. Got you. We got to let Kerrigan hop in OneDrive. So in the midst of me moving to a new apartment. Oh, that's tough, man. But congratulations on the apartment there, Coach Frankie. Says can always move next day. Says I'm good to build my team for the Relo Bowl. Shouldn't have an issue. Yeah, that's no problem, Reed. And yeah, I was gonna put you on for that anyway, because I know if you're going to the Relo Bowl, I know whoever going there would be excited to build their team. So I'm gonna actually build that file, start that file probably tonight or something. And I'll let you know. I'll give you access to it when I got it all set up, and then we can start making those teams. But currently, right now, like I said, I haven't been able to get to it because I gotta hurry up build this Pro Bowl roster. But we'll see. It says, but all good. Okay, more controversial. Put me on there. As long as they don't make certain players different races, they shouldn't be on CPU team. Thunderbirds winning it all this year. Got Kileski. I think that's how you say it. What's going on, my guy? You look new to me. Love this idea. Appreciate that, Ramos. Yeah, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. Because imagine if both sides win, right? So think about that. Like NRC wins, then the ARC wins. But who put up the most points? Who had the most deficit? Like that's gonna be crazy because like both teams could get the win, but it's like who's gonna get the most points to edge the other one out for it. But and obviously whoever wins twice, it's a wrap. They won. You're out of here. Says what about dudes in the playoffs? Yeah, I gotta figure something out about that. I was thinking about that as well. The playoffs in terms of, are you talking about the Relo Bowl? For the Relo Bowl, well, since this is more player specific, like they achieved the Pro Bowl, I guess what I could do is I can give whoever was supposed to be in the Pro Bowl from the Relo Bowl game, they'll get that too. So if you were supposed to be in a Pro Bowl and you're going to the Relo Bowl, you'll have 5,000 reloads too. And I guess the way we can balance it out is based off of whatever you do in that game, you get the same payout. So it'll be the same deal. That's how we can fix that. It's a good question to generate that idea right there. So I like both games on Sunday. Yep. So we starting college series again. Yeah, college series is going to be coming out soon. I'll talk more about that during open question. It's a decline. I guess I'm trying to figure out where he said that. A little bit behind on the messages. Says I thought the Pro Bowl auto rotates. No, they don't auto rotate, man. I was I went throughout the game, man. They weren't rotating. So it was so the only way you can rotate players is if you're the user and you're rotating. So I have to rotate the guy's manual that I'm on. So when I'm on the Celtic Tiger side, I'm gonna just rotate the ARC players. Then when I'm on Justin's account, I'm gonna rotate the NRC players. So can I change my gear for the Relo Bowl whenever you got? Yeah, we definitely do that. All right, so I'm a little bit caught up here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get you guys a look at the Pro Bowl rosters. Unfortunately, like I said, there's some guys who were on the Bulldogs and the Thunderbirds that you guys don't know that were on this Pro Bowl team. But unfortunately, I didn't have the time to look that up. Mitch, I know he looked up who all was supposed to go to the Pro Bowl and stuff already, wrote a list out, so he could tell you what Bulldogs and Thunderbirds were supposed to be there, and so you will know if you're getting your 5,000 or not. But I'm pretty sure guys already know Drew Brewer's got to be on there. Eric Strauder's got to be on there, stuff like that. So you guys are going to be good. All right, so let's go ahead and get a look at this official Pro Bowl roster. All right, so this is where I said I'm actually in game with this. So you can see me moving. This is all the players I built up to already on the NRC file. I got the entire offense done. And I'm now all the way up to the linebackers, which is up to, the left side. Didn't get the middle, right, and then the defensive backs. That's all I need to do, right? But let's go ahead and go through this list. And then once we get on the NRC file side of things, and let me move this down. Once we get on the NRC file side of things, where the players actually aren't what they're supposed to be, like they're NFL players, I got some images to cover it up so I can show you guys. But all right, so looking at first team quarterbacks for the ARC and NRC. NRC, we got Reed Wagner, obviously he was league MVP, and then Justin Jones, first team for ARC. Then the NRC, we got Lane Kearney, quarterback 2, ARC, Glenn Hay. Then Daryl Johnson, quarterback 3 for NRC, and quarterback 3 for ARC will be Holden Wolf. All right, next at running back, we have Madison Axel, running back 1 for the NRC, and running back 1 for the ARC is Kingston Kinney. Running back 2 for the NRC, Darius Martin from the Elks, and Trey Worsley, number 2 for the ARC. And the third back for the NRC will be Amir Williams. Let's get hashtag Amir in the chat, man. Amir Williams making his first Pro Bowl appearance in his second season in the RFL. And then making the third team for running back in the ARC is Langford Cloud of the Black Knights. Getting some fullback love here. Got Klon Bowers from the Explorers, first team fullback. And then we got Ashley Denard. I think that's the Aviators fullback, if I'm not mistaken. First team for the ARC. Ben Schleichinger. And blanking on the fullbacks. I'm sorry, I don't got too much. I'm gonna probably be off as bad as the lineman when I get to that part. But Ben Schleichinger, I think he's a Wizard. And Aaron Anger, I know he used to be a Sentinel. I'm not sure if he's still there, but that's your second team fullbacks for the NRC and the ARC. All right, first team wide receivers. Look at this bunch here. Romeo Jackson, first team for NRC. And of course, Keith Guyton, first team for NRC. Also starting out there on the other side, wide receiver 2, Piku McCullough, and then Matt Nayani. These wide receivers are going to be crazy at first quarter. Then we got Elijah Bentley, wide receiver 3 for NRC. Cam Jones, wide receiver 3 for ARC. Amari Manuel, wide receiver 4 from the Barons. And we got Kentavious Henderson making a Pro Bowl from the Chicago Cougars at 4 as well. At wide receivers 5s, NRC, we have Gunners wide receiver DeAndre Can and Armadillo's wide receiver Maurice Darman. And lastly, wide receiver 6s for the NRC, we have CJ Robinson and big shocker here, but he had a great season, Voyagers wide receiver Jackson Hunter making a cut right there. All right. Then we get to the tight end. I think we were just right here. Yeah, so Dexter Roy, first team tight end for the NRC. And then we have Nacho Cheese for the ARC. Been 2 of the top tight ends in the league for a while now. Tight end 2 for the NRC, we have the Steamers, Eric Reese. And we have Tyler Henderson, the San Diego Red Dragons. Tight end 3, we have Mason Dunn from the Elks for the NRC. And for the ARC, we got Black Knights tight end Mike Strongley. Now we get on to the offensive lineman. Deion Gunn, this guy's won multiple offensive lineman of the year, and he's not missing the Pro Bowl again. He's first team left tackle for the NRC. And of course, on the other side, DeMarcus the Great. These are 2 of the best linemen it's always been in the RFL. DeMarcus the Great from the Red Dragons, first team. Backing them up, second team tackles on the left side. We got AJ Clifton from the Explorers. And then we got William Milne from the Huskies. So I'm pretty good right there on those linemen. Kevin Bruce, first team guard on the left side from the Diablos on NRC. And then in ARC, we got Sean Hayden, who, which team? I know it's a blue and black team. This is either the Sentinels or the Aviators. I'm taking an L here on this. You know, when it comes to linemen and me, man, I don't have the best relationship with those guys. But Sean Hayden, is he a Cougar? Yeah, he's a Cougar. Yeah. Okay, yeah. It just hit me the last minute. All right, yeah. So second team left guard, Rashad Sherrill. That's a Crusaders offensive lineman there. Their line was stacked. They got a couple guys on this list. Naquan Bowe from the Voyagers, ARC, second team guard. And let's get hashtag Pat in the chat. Pat making first team center for the NRC, boy. Okay. Let's get hashtag Pat in the chat, man. Then we got George Yonda from the Huskies. Second team center, we got Dustin Riley from the Crusaders and Teddy Hattemore from the Bisons. Right guard, we have Aiden Mahill from, he used to be on the Dreadnoughts. I don't think he's on the Dreadnoughts no more, though. Of course not. He's on the NRC side. So who got him? Let me go Tigers. I think Tigers got him now. So then we got Tyrone Fulani, and I know he's on the Huskies as well. So Huskies linemen all on this list as well. Then we have right guard, second team with Blair Harden. I think that is the Snowhawks. Portland Snowhawks. I'm going to go with that. Second team right guard. And then Wayman Yates, I know he's of the Celtic Tigers, making second team right guard. So I'm doing a little bit better on these offensive linemen this year. Jacoby Drawns, I think that's the Diablos first team right tackle for NRC. ARC, we've got Kaler, blanking on the first name, but I know he plays for the Voyagers. So first team right there for, I'm gonna call him Frank. Frank Kaler, I know that's not his first name. But second team to finish off the offense, second team tackles on the right side. We've got Heath Fedorowicz from the Explorers, can't forget a name like that. And then Jake Kauser, used to be with the Gunners. Blanking on where he got traded on now to the ARC side. But he's now on the ARC side, and he made a Pro Bowl. So that's good. All right, now we move on to defense. First team left defensive end, we got Dante Floyd from the Crusaders. ARC, Wendell DeMache, the old vet, still out here killing it, making Pro Bowls from the Sentinels. All right, then we have Marquis Sowell from the Wizards. Second team left DN. And Ed Ritter from the Chicago Cougars for the ARC. Now on the right side for defensive end, we got Snowhawks, Randall Sylvester. And then another old veteran, killed it this year, man. Charles Raymond from the Red Dragons. First team defensive end. Let's see who's backing him up. Right end number 2, we got Cole Bacon from the Crusaders. And then Alumbi Easy, man. This guy had such a great season. You can look at the overall right there. 78 overall, making the plays he was making was just incredible. Was up there in sacks, led the team in that area. Great defensive end, making his first Pro Bowl here, man. So congratulations to Alumbi. I keep saying Easy. Ezzy. It's Ezzy. That's how you pronounce it. We call him Easy for years. But now we get the defensive tackles. NRC side, without question, you knew this guy was going to be number 1. Let's get hashtag NASUN in the chat. Nashawn Richardson, first team defensive tackle for the NRC. Then we got first team defensive tackle for the ARC, Derek Herrera. Another old vet still out there killing it. Second team defensive tackle, NRC, R.O. Brown from the Diablos. Second team D tackle, we have Stanley McQueeston from the Dreadnoughts. And then third team defensive tackle, Stephon Wilcox, still out here making the Pro Bowls, man. He's there at third team defensive tackle. And another old veteran is here since actually season 1. Sentinels defensive tackle, Ivory Odom. And then we get on to the linebackers. Left side, first team, another vet. I mean, it's cool seeing these vets still up here killing the game. Marvin Woolfolk, first team, left outside linebacker. And of course, you got to throw in Carter Delahart, first team, left outside linebacker for the ARC. Led the team, the entire league in sacks. He was tied out there with Nashawn Richardson. Absolute animal this year. Let's go ahead and move on. See who's backing those guys up. Second team, left outside linebacker, got Dwayne Costin, 2 back-to-back Diablos there. First and second team, so that says a lot about their linebacker core right there. Then you had Michael Afriyie, what a season he has had for the Celtic Tigers. He makes the list there at second outside linebacker. Then we had at middle linebacker. Okay, this is where it gets a little bit different because these aren't our guys. I made Dwayne Costin, but I didn't get to the linebackers. But looking at I think I could put up the images now. Hold up. Okay, there we go. All right, so I could put this image up so you guys can see. So Tyler Cage, first team NRC linebacker for the Pro Bowl, man. Rookie did what his expectations was the number 1 overall draft pick, defensive rookie of the year, tied the record for the most tackles in a single season. Dude was a stud. First team, deserved it. Reed Holmberg, first team middle linebacker for the ARC. We got Antoine Buck, old vet out there with the Elks, had a great season with the NRC there, second team middle linebacker. And how about this? Shout out to David Leathers making the Pro Bowl. Let's get hashtag DL in the chat, man. DL's in the Pro Bowl his rookie year as well at the linebacker position from the Armadillos. Let's go. Got some rookies out here making some impacts, man. Then we have James Blackman, right outside linebacker from the Wizards for the NRC, first team. First team right outside linebacker for the ARC, Michael Pratt from the Huskies, absolute dog this year. Then second team right outside linebacker Explorers, Vondre Priester. And second team for the ARC is Jack Higgins. Jack Higgins from the Red Dragons there. So that's it for the linebackers. Let me go ahead and move this on now to the defensive back. So I should be able to close this off. Oh, yeah, there we go. So now updating it. All right, first team. Never mind how it's looking in the middle. I know they got the CB and all that stuff and crazy, but I was able to cut the screens half and half to make this. First team defensive back, without question, Rashad Chamberlain. This guy was winning games by himself just about and closing out games with pick sixes. Crazy. Almost did it in the divisional round against T-Birds. But first team defensive back for the Explorers in the NRC. First team defensive back for the ARC is Javonte Gibson. And what a season he had, man, with the Huskies. Second team defensive back out there starting. We got Spencer Garland from the Condors. And then for the ARC, you have Le'Veon Henry, who led the entire league in interceptions. Kind of shocked about that. Thought Henry would be number 1 defensive back. But it looks like they factor in a lot of other things to come up with this list, which was actually kind of cool because some guys I did feel, even though they had better stats in certain areas, weren't necessarily better than or performed better than guys that I saw, and it kind of worked out good with these rosters here. But Le'Veon Henry there, cornerback number 2. Sheldon Reinhardt, cornerback 3 for the NRC from the Diablos. Parker Brockers, cornerback 3 from the Bisons for the ARC. And then let's get hashtag Lido Loso, get Fabuloso, or whatever you want to put in the chat. That boy Lido in the Pro Bowl, y'all, made that last slot. 4th team, boy. He done made it. Lido Loso, 4th team NRC defensive back. Then we got Lynn Mayberry from the Aviators. Yep. And Lido Loso, man, from the Wizards, forgot to say where he was from, even though most of y'all would probably already know that. And then for the safety, first team free safety, Reese Goodall. And see, this is another thing I was talking about. When you talk about NRC, like the safety position, Reese Goodall, he had some good stats that were spread out, and other defensive backs had him beaten like interceptions and stuff like that. But when you really look at his production all the way around, he was one of the better, if not yet, like they got it here, I would say the better free safety this year in the conference. And so he got first team from the Tigers there in the NRC. Robert Staymates, definitely ARC first team free safety. That guy led in interceptions out of all safeties, was an absolute dog with the Huskies. And then now we get to the rest of it here. Free safety number 2, Garrison Ash making his Pro Bowl. How about that? Old head still out here making teams from the Elks there. And then for the ARC team, we have second team free safety Chris Dixon from the Portland Riverhawks. So shout out to Q. I know he's been talking about this guy Dixon for a minute, man. Dixon's been a dog. There he is making a Pro Bowl. I'm not sure if this is his first Pro Bowl or not. I feel like he's made it before, but if not, hey, man, congratulations. Had a great season. Had that boy out there doing some work. First team strong safety, got Darius Young from the Explorers for the NRC. And for the ARC, first team is Adam Okoye. So Coach Baker had flipped him to strong safety before the Pro Bowl stuff, and he ended up going there. He's supposed to be a linebacker, so they threw in a whole nother linebacker. I don't know who got thrown out, actually, who got added. So I don't know what happened there, but Adam Okoye was supposed to be in the Pro Bowl anyway. So a linebacker who wasn't supposed to be there ended up getting in. I don't know which one it was. And then some safety got kicked out. I don't know which one, but yeah, the free strong safety got booted, unfortunately. But hey, Adam Okoye was supposed to be there anyway. And then we get a look at team number 2, NRC, JT Case. How about that? Both the Elks starting safeties making it to the Pro Bowl team, and will be on the field together in the second half with JT Casey and Garrison Ash. We knew these guys were going to be dogs when they played together on the Elks, and they snapped. And we had Griffin Whiteside of the Miners second team strong safety. And we only get one kicker and one punter. I think it's William Hankins. Now, this is another place I'm going to struggle in terms of what team they're on, because I don't know all the kickers, but I think Hankins with the Elks. I have no idea who's Hill. So first team kicker is Hankins. First team punter for the NRC is Hill. Mitch probably could tell you in the chat who that is, because I remember we was talking about this when we looked at this list. I know who Tyrus Wiley is, CT's kicker. First team kicker for the ARC, and then Mason Borland, he's for the Huskies, I believe, for punter. So there you go. Another thing is they have these punt returners. I am planning on, I got to go back and look at the last podcast that I had when me and Forbes were talking about it, when we looked at the stats and we figured out and we were like, yo, who should be the returners for this game? It will not be these guys they selected, so I have to give a RIP to my man, Jakari Torres, man. Yeah, he will not be the kick returner for the Pro Bowl, my guy. I'm sorry. Because they just chose some random guys. Ayers on here, good speed, McCann, yeah, gotta go. Guys who actually took home kick return touchdowns and returned the ball most of the season, those will be the guys that we have on. And I'll go back on that podcast to figure out who it was that we talked about and chose on that day. But that is the Pro Bowl rosters, man. That's the Pro Bowl rosters. If your name was called again, congratulations to those guys. Let's get a look at who those guys were again. Lito Loso, man. Shout out to Lito Loso. Shout out to Amir Williams. Shout out to Pat. Anybody else? Shout out to Nashawn. What other community members we got that made the Pro Bowl, man? Gonna be many more in the future, though, man. Definitely gonna be many more in the future. Can't wait. I think that's the main guys right there. Yeah, because quarterbacks, we already know the deal with quarterbacks, man. It's hard to get in there, quarterback. But yeah, Lito, Loso, those guys, and shout out to you guys making a Pro Bowl. That's the official rosters, and of course, I went through the whole system and the presentation and how things are going to go. Like I said, I'm going to be writing, I'm going to be jotting down, making up a script and figure out like who specifically I'm going to try to talk to. So if you hear something from me tomorrow regarding you, that's just me inquiring to see if you'll be present for the Pro Bowl to be able to come on and talk. All you got to do is just jump into Discord, and I got questions and stuff for you, and we'll just go ahead and chat while we're live on with the game. You know, I'll still call a game a little bit like as it's going on, but it's not going to be like, oh, you know, call out the downs and stuff. I'm gonna be talking with guys, and if we see a big play, whoever I'm on talking with at the time, I'm just gonna be like, oh, you see that, dog? You know what I'm saying? Gonna be excited for the plays. It definitely should be a great Pro Bowl. I played it a little bit, but this is when I don't have the rosters completely done. Like I said, I will finish the NRC side today. But yo, our teams against the NFL teams, crushing them. So hopefully it's different, man. Hopefully it's different. I think it's going to be very competitive when we actually have our teams facing each other, because we got some dogs, man. NFL generics can't see us. But yeah, that's it for the Pro Bowl. Let me see, creating an NRC team separate. I brought that up. Both games will be played. Yep. Did the times. Remember, this will be ARC game will be ARC file Pro Bowl game will be at 4, and the NRC file Pro Bowl game will be at 8. Okay. I'm trying to get some pictures of you guys. That's why I need to try to hurry up and build these Pro Bowl rosters real fast so I can actually take some in-game shots and maybe give a couple guys who made the Pro Bowl some shots of their players, to post before the game. Honestly, I think since there's no practice, you might want to do it afterwards, but yeah, I might actually wait afterwards. But I'll make a post maybe and just have like 10 pictures just to show off, you know, uh 2 posts, 10 pictures just to show off the top 10 I guess players or pictures of each file and post that on social media, on Instagram and stuff like that. So that'll be coming. And I talked about the interaction with the coaches, but yep. All right, and then also, yeah, I got on this list for the next thing to talk about. That's it for the Pro Bowl, guys. So I can't wait for that to happen, to show you guys, just so it's how interactive it's going to be. It's going to be a great experience. But College Series 5, I got here check-ins, man. If you signed up for the College Series and you are here right now, or you have went back and watched this live stream, you better get in the Discord and you better get active soon, because once the check-ins roll in, it's game time. That's coming soon, guys. It's about to be game time. It's about to be transfer portal time to hurry up and get where you need to go so we can figure out where you're going. And it's about to be full steam ahead lockdown. You guys literally got, less than 2 weeks to make sure you're in the Discord and you have an application sent if you're trying to be a part of the College Series. I will not spare nobody. If you sign up late afterwards, you missed it. I don't care about the $15 money. I'll refund you if you're late. And I'm definitely going to take that down fast. Get in there. Get in there. We always cut it off as soon as the Relo Bowl is done, or at least finish out the day. We wake up and then boom. But usually we just cut it off as soon as the Relo Bowl is done, because we've been giving out this message for even months now. So get a player in. If you're trying to get into College Series, get a player in and make sure that you're active. Because if I do a check-in, you're in the Discord, you did everything right, and I do a check-in and you do not check in, your player most likely will get kicked out of the series and you will not be able to get back in. All right, and honestly, you're probably gonna have to pay again. That's gonna be the issue. So make sure that you're active, because I am not sitting waiting on guys to be active and do everything you're supposed to do, because one thing we hate here is when guys apply. I know you spent your bread, but we're going to be creating your player. We're going to be doing all this, and we want active guys so that when they get drafted to teams, it can help boost up that team's environment and just build the league. If you're not one of those guys, we're not going to show much mercy to you, man, if you miss a check-in or whatever. I'm just letting you know now. So don't come to my DMs complaining. Just letting you know now. All right, so check-ins coming, man. Transfer portals coming soon, man. Oh yeah, another thing I was going to bring up is we have one of our coaches that's going to be stepping back. Coach Back, he's in the chat. His workload in terms of his job is going to be pretty heavy in October. So I just wanted to make that a topic for the podcast, just to go over so guys know. I didn't have time to make a graphic or anything about it, so I'll just mention it here on the podcast. So he'll be stepping down this year as coach because of his workload going on. So the Columbus Aviators will be a CPU team, and you just want to give a shout out to Coach Back, man. 3 years, you know what I'm saying? Didn't win no championship, but hey, you at least got to a conference championship, right? First year Marquise watching that 14-2 season, man. You did your thing. And you fought hard these last 2 seasons as well. I know you didn't make the playoffs the last 2 seasons, but this year you really fought hard. Had some big upset with victories, and almost thought you was going to get in there for a minute, and unfortunately didn't pan out. But a good solid 3 years, man. 3 years is solid in the RFL. You think about some other coaches. You can pull up even Kozera, his run with the Toronto Thunderbirds. He had a 3-year stint. And you saw what he was able to accomplish. So, and shout out to Back. Let's get hashtag Back in the chat. Back will not be gone, though. He did message me and let me know that, it's just that he will not be able to coach because he won't have the time to build the team and do all his duties as a coach within the league. But he still have back talk going on, and he'll still be within the community. So it's like the only thing he's not doing is coaching. So he'll still be around. He'll still be a mod. And that's that's what it is. But just want to go ahead and give a shout out to Backman for the 3 years served in the RFL, my guy. And salute to you, my guy. All right, so and that is what I have to get into the fun facts with Pat. All right, so let's get into the fun facts with Pat here. He's got 4 questions. All right, question number 1. Among players with at least 20 receptions, who had the best average yards per catch in RFL Season 8? I don't think many guys going to get this. I'm saying many guys. I don't feel anybody's going to get this. This was a hard curveball here, Pitt. I said Pitt. Pat. Go ahead and do Pitt Pat. Not seeing it yet. All right, about to get the countdown going soon. Give y'all some extra time for this. This is average yards after catch. Okay, so he put per here. I still don't think anybody's going to get this. All right, so here goes the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Yeah, nobody was going to get this, man. It's not even a receiver. Yeah, this is a little too hard here, Pat. I can't give you $500 for that. Andre Tomlinson. Nobody would have guessed him from the Pioneers at 6.32 yards after catch. And you had Cam Rux. These are unknown starting players. Yeah, I don't think anybody would have got that off the top. They don't, man. So yeah, that was too crazy. Not to mention Relo's getting reset anyway. I'm pretty sure you're over 5K. Oh, you'll be well over that because you made the Pro Bowl, so you'll have 10. All right, question number 2. Who had 18 carries for 125 yards to help lead the NRC to victory in the Season 6 Pro Bowl? Moody question. Oh, we got a winner. Kai Cash is correct. Tavion Hall of the Desperados was in the Season 6 Pro Bowl, where the NRC won for the first time in playoff fashion, where it was pretty much the Steamer Bowl, 45-21. I remember that game. All right, question number 3. Which RFL legend had the final touchdown in the Season 7 Pro Bowl on a 13-yard pass from DeAndre Wilkins Jr.? Feel like somebody knows. And we're about to get to the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you guys were right. Should have started up John Cena. It's like, nah. I did that for y'all boys. But no, the answer is Randy Shropshire, not John Cena. From the Riverhawks. The NRC won last year, so NRC on the roll. NRC got two Pro Bowl victories. They were on a 4-game drought. But yeah, they won 31-24. Close game. Close game. And the final, you say, wow. And the final question from Fun Facts with Pat: which two players tied for the most solo tackles in RFL Season 8? Hint, one of them is a rookie, which I'm pretty sure you guys will figure that out. But who's the other guy? Comment them both at the same time, not separately. Okay. 20 seconds. Make sure you read the question carefully. 10, 9, 8. You said CP got it? Oh, yeah, he did get it. I just seen it. Yeah, CP got it, man. Antoine Buck and Tyler Cage both tied with 87 solo tackles to lead the entire RFL in solo tackles. All right, so that's it with Fun Facts with Pat, man. And now we just leave it up to you guys. Open questions. I'll go ahead and put up the Relo Bowl bracket again, just for you guys, to look at. You guys want to talk about anything, let me know. It's open questions. Last session we had some good questions. You want to ask me anything about the Pro Bowl, anything RFL related, just let me know. I do have here for open questions, just to toss into debate. I've been hearing the latest things about the EA college football game. In my opinion, back had posted some things about it and some other guys, but I don't think it's going to stop the game, guys. I don't think we have anything to worry about for that, because EA themselves literally did say that they were going to, if they had the players or not, the game's coming out. There's no way that they're going to spend all this time and money making and developing this game and then just going to let it all go to waste over a lawsuit with some players' names when they don't even actually need the players. They already know this. So NCAA football, the game is coming out. I mean, I know it'll be EA's college football, whatever. College football game is coming out next year, man. So that's my take on it. Anybody want to talk about that, feel free. But any other questions, feel free to ask. I see CP says, where's the Relo Bowl? We won't know. See, I can't tell you guys where it's at, because even when we get to the Relo Bowl and the actual file, you don't know where the Relo Bowl is going to be in the game, because like you can go to the same year, but it'll be different. I don't know why. I did that last year. I had a whole aerial view of SoFi Stadium like we were actually playing there, because that's where in the in-game file said the championship game was going to be. The next thing you know, we playing in the Vikings Stadium. And I'm like, yo, I'm up here calling it the wrong stadium and stuff in last year's championship. It was crazy. So I will have no idea where it's going to be until the Relo Bowl file is built and we advance and we got the teams all the way to the championship. That's the only way I'm going to know where it's going to be stationed at. I know the Pro Bowl is going to be at the Raiders Stadium. So I at least know that. Relo Bowl, no idea. Says so Relo Bowl 2 weeks from now. Yep, Relo Bowl is not this Sunday, it's next Sunday, July 2nd. It says we still doing all pro teams. Yeah, I was talking with Forbes, we plan on working on just going back in the past and looking at those and figuring out who would have made those teams from back then. That's probably something we'll do during the off season a little bit. But like I said, it's not too much of an off season we're gonna have, man. Like we're about to be rolling smooth into the college series after a little bit of a month, probably less than a month, because the Relo Bowl is gonna be on the 2nd. We already got to start I'm already going to still be working. So I'm not even really going to get a break, bro. So as soon as the season ends for the RFL, I'm straight rolling into the college series and trying to get everybody where they need to be, transfers and stuff like that. And yeah, so, but if there's any time during that, we're definitely going to be working on that. Just looking in the past to try to see what we can get done. So these players complaining 500 isn't enough to pay every single player. Yeah, but see, this is the thing. People getting it confused. A lot of people think that it's these players that are no names that are complaining like they don't want the $500. No, it's the top tier players that are complaining. Like they're the ones that saying, and their agents are telling them, because the agents just out there to get money. If you hire them to get money for you, that's all they're going to do. So for them, they know that their player who's going to the NFL is going to be a big star name is worth a lot more than 500. So they're the ones making the complaints. The ones who's third string on the depth chart and stuff, they don't care. They're not putting up a fight. It's the people who now with these NIL deals and the money they're getting, who already see that EA is going to make a crap ton of money off them with their likenesses. So they're complaining about, well, if you're like, they're getting gypped. And I'm gonna be honest, that's the truth, but everybody wants a football game back. But in all honestly, for the guys who are big name stars, they are technically getting ripped off because they are worth more than 500. It's hard to figure out what to even negotiate. I'm pretty sure they'll figure some stuff out. And even if they don't, like I said, they don't care. Like EA's gonna drop the game. We don't need real life college players. Like, give us all generic. Somebody's gonna make the roster as always. But then at the same time, like, why do we need them in there? Because they're only gonna be in there for a year. And even when you play with them, they're most of them seniors that are stars. They're gonna be gone, and you're only gonna be in dynasty mode one season with these dudes, and and they're out of there. So what's the point of even really putting them in the game? Like, these players really shouldn't be in the game, man. NCAA football is just, or EA college football is just fine without real life college players. They don't last, bro. They're out of the league. They're out going to the league, or just out in 4 years. That's nothing, man. There's no reason to waste any time for face scans, and no need to do all that. Okay, it says let me go back up. It says got bamboozled. Does the Relo Bucks reset for the college players? No. So Relo Bucks, that's why we try to tell our college series guys, like, if you applied, the faster you applied to be a player, you could have been stacking up reloads the entire RFL season. That gives you incentive to watch the RFL season, get your reloads from there, because by the time the college series comes, your reloads don't reset. So you could be sitting there banking on reloads on top of reloads. But a lot of guys at times just don't take advantage of, oh, I'm not playing, so they're not watching. They didn't want to come in when the college series happens. And it's just like, oh, you starting from ground zero, bud. Like, it's gonna be hard getting them reloads now. Like, even if you're active, it's gonna be hard getting them upgrades to where it would have been if you had started when you applied. But yeah, those don't get resetted for college series players. So you guys got an advantage for being a part of the series and participating, watching RFL games. Let's see what else we got here. The question is, do you want to come mess things up, then come to Arizona State? We have 4 guys right now. I think he's probably talking to somebody else in the chat. I don't know what Back's talking about right there. Relo Bowl is in Anchorage. Don't get me started on that. I'm mad we got the antlers coming. Relo Bowl is an undisclosed location. That for the time. Yep. TBA. You only inviting Pro Bowl players onto the broadcast. It depends, because I'm going to try to write that after I finish creating the teams tonight and stuff for the NRC. I'm going to try to write down and plot who I'm going to bring on during the Pro Bowl for the broadcast and stuff, asking them questions, because I want to make sure I don't just bring guys on there, they're just sitting there chilling, talking, and then eating up time and somebody else should have been on and stuff. Like I'm gonna bring you on there to answer some questions, and that's it. Once your questions is done, all right, time to go, bud. You know, that's how it's gonna go. Because I want to make sure that I touch on like everything, like key moments for each conference, each player, stuff like that. So I might actually do other guys outside of. I might actually call on other guys to come in and be on a broadcast, even though they didn't make the Pro Bowl. I plan on getting conferences in for coaches and stuff, though. So everybody will lose their momentum boost for the season in the Relo Bowl. Yeah, technically, but not really. So the way that's going to work is I'm going to reset. We're going to reset. I think this is what we did last season. We're going to reset. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that because that actually does not reset it. Yeah, there's nothing we could do about that. At first, we thought we could reset to have the morale go down to 50, but we really have no control. So all you can do is if there's any player under 50, you can bring them up to 50 morale. So that's just how it is. That's how we got to do it. Since we're not in one file, it's always been like that. So yeah, momentum. But what we will do is we will build the players accurate to what the actual file says. So if you got a plus boost on the Relo Bowl file, whatever that boost is, if it's lower than or more than what the attribute is, you got to even it out. So they're still going to have the same exact attributes they would have coming into that game, but the morale will be different, right? But we are going to simulate the same wins. We're going to simulate everything the same as much as possible going to the Relo Bowl, and that's all we can control. We just can't do anything with the morale, but it's not going to have a factor. It really isn't, because all the morale does is boost up an attribute once it's high enough. So it's not going to change anything. It says we got some good questions rolling in. Smitty, for College Series 5, are we looking to start last week of July? Yeah, last week of July, I'm planning on trying to get it started. Probably like last day, like the 29th, something like that. So, yeah. That's why I said, like, after the season's over, I'm going to be looking into that schedule and try to figure out how we're going to go about that. You got Coach Dunn, or come to Florida State. They talk about Costa. Arizona State better join Clemson. Okay, guys, getting their little college invitations out there. If you want to, okay. I don't think the average person knows who's the college stars are till we get to the midseason. Yeah, most guys, yeah, you know some names, but nobody cares. Like nobody plays NCAA for the real life players, bro. So they were better. Okay, those players. Said, but those players sign NIL deals for millions. Zero sympathy. The NIL is flawed and ruining landscapes. Now I can but you really gotta. You can say that, but it is. I still like. I want a football game. I think most people are just saying this stuff because they want the football game. It's going to come out anyway. Like I said, don't care. We don't need these players. But technically, some of these players are getting paid more than what they should because a lot of these players aren't worth $500. But the ones who are, I mean, getting $500 don't matter if you sign millions of dollars, bro. You're owed what you're owed. I'm not going to let somebody like me personally. I wouldn't care, but I can see why somebody would get frustrated, or their agent would be on it, even with them not caring, to say like, "Yo, these guys are going to make millions of dollars off of you, and you're only getting paid $500. I don't care how much money I got. Like, if I'm like in that situation, if I'm owed more, where's my money? So that I can see how people think like that. So I can see both ways, but once again, we don't need these guys in the game. EA, don't put these guys in the game. Simple. Coaches, you're not recruiting. Cut that out, please. You're not. There's no college coaches in the RFL. Stop trying to recruit players for teams, please. I know you guys probably joking, but if you really are doing this and you get caught, you're going to get suspended. Y'all already know we talked about this before. Let those guys choose where they want to go. You moved out the state. Okay, it says I thought NCAA had players under. Oh shoot, this chat keeps moving. I lost track where I was. I'm gonna just have to keep skipping by on some things here, cause you ever are on your phone looking at the chat and you're about to read something, but just because somebody posted something new or resets the entire chat and you got to scroll back up trying to figure out where you were. That's what's happening to me right now. It's killing me. I can't even figure out where the questions was. So I'm straight with Xavier Savage. Yeah, you straight, man. I said you got it in when players were allowed to have multiple players. So I mean, if you want to keep him there, I heard you might be trying to keep that boy there for 4 years, trying to get him in the new college game. If you want to, be my guest, man. Okay. Could I ask some of the Pro Bowl players questions or nah? What you mean, Awesome Crocodile was trying to hop on and ask questions? I mean, we could have you on and we could probably work something out, talk it out. If that's what you meant by that question you posted there. It says what we're not doing the Smitty Manning cast. It's gonna be kind of like that. Kind of like, I guess it's gonna be kind of like the cast where, I'm just sitting back chilling, talking to guys, game going on. Cause I'll make okay, guys talking about college there. I'm trying to catch up, man. I don't see any questions. It says I have a pick. I have to pick a team. Root for in the college series. College series is always interesting, man. Agents, you deserve a lot more than 500 players. Put me in the game. I just want my attributes right. Yeah, that's really how it is, man. Since he is tough, it's better orange. This is how much. This how much do I need? I guess to make a player, says Kenzo. You need $15 if you're not a quarterback. If you're applying to be a quarterback, then you're going to have to pay $30 extra because we don't want many quarterbacks getting submitted anymore. So the price is much higher because honestly, there's not many spots for quarterbacks in the RFL. We want guys applying elsewhere. So if you really want to be a quarterback that bad, it actually comes to a grand total of $45. Any other position is $15. But you pay $15 off the rip to get your player there. If it's a quarterback, once you get into Discord or later on, I'm going to be reaching out to the guys who are quarterbacks and say, hey, I need the $30 before this series starts up or you're getting cut. It's going to be earlier before the season starts up because once I get these players built, I ain't know who's getting made or not. I'm not about to create a player and he ain't pay yet. So that's how it goes. It's $15 though. So you only got $15 on cash. Hey, you gotta do it through the app, through the website, man. Cause I want everything streamlined. No guys are sitting there talking about, it's $15, $15. No, that's not how I operate. And I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm being, crazy right now with it, but like I'm just keeping it real. I always keep it real. Like, hey, gotta pay on the site. It's more streamlined. I like it to be done that way. I don't want to get paid nowhere else. Send it straight through the website, so that way I could get your application. It tells me you paid, tells me you did all this stuff, and I could just straight go on. Don't have to worry about checking out Cash App or nothing. The only way you can Cash App me or whatever is if you made a quarterback and you're paying extra. Because that's not on the website. But if you're trying to make a player, got to do it on the website. And my advice to you, cash out that $15, man. Wait that weekday out or them 3 days that they be having without them taking no money. put it on the card and pay for it. PayPal on the website. Yeah, if I don't know if the website will take the card. Try it out. It might take Cash App card. I'm not sure. It says, how long will it take me to figure out that I drew up a better schedule than that? I haven't seen it yet. Y'all been at odds low key with that. We'll see whose schedule we'll go with. Yeah, you can use Cash App card. Just okay, cool. Okay, CP on it. There we go, Kenzo. CP out there in the clutch. So if not, just buy a $15 gift card. Yeah, that should be able to work. Cause I think the website takes general cards as long as you can use them online. It should be able to take it. Takes that and PayPal. So if you got it, go ahead, sign up today, man. And once again, since I'm caught up now, make sure if you got teammates that's in this college series right now, get them active. Best time to get active is right now. Don't wait till last minute to try to get active and you end up getting active late and you miss your check-in and you out. And I had to cut a lot of people off last time with that and dudes was sick. So you don't want to be that guy. You better start tuning in. Get ready for that check-in. All right, I think I'm caught up now. It says everyone sign up CS5. If you don't, yeah, Kenzo, make it the end. All right, yeah. So I'm caught up here. Anybody else got any more questions? Let me know. I'll be on here for just 2 more minutes. I want to try to hurry up, get off here too, so that way I can get back to making these NRC Pro Bowl team rosters. And I'm gonna reach out to a couple guys in the Discord too to try to help with that. Cause yeah. Yeah, I can get in VC. Shoot. Anybody got PS5 who's the usuals? I'm gonna chat with you in the VC. So Eric, know you got a PS5 now. Anybody's got a PS5 wants to help out with these Pro Bowl rosters, man, so we can get those made. Let me know. Okay, 1 more minute. I'll take 1 more question, 1 more good question if anybody's got one. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and log out of here at 10. I think caught up with everything, man. Everybody saying good podcast. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, next year I got some plans, man. I got some plans potentially for the College Series podcast, a whole different look. Like this is gonna be completely different, man. Because I mean, for the most part, still like I might change it more so into like just solely my show. Like even though I know it's like technically my show, but like guys are getting busy and they're not able to be on the podcast as frequently. So I might just change this whole scenery, man. It's just gonna be completely different. You guys will see. I got some things lined up in the future, man. So hey, shout out to the guys that are here who tuned into the podcast. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button. And I'll see you guys at the Pro Bowl. Peace, man.